Good morning, everyone. Got a unit here that has a long crank, hard start, cold. I already verified our fuel pressure is good, as well as our injection control pressure, which is your high pressure oil side, because this is a Maxxforce DT, and then it runs off of high pressure oil to fire the injectors, so I verified that's good. And I also ran a relative compression test on this thing, and the engine's not bad. So the only other thing would be testing the intake air heater to make sure it fires up nicely, to get that hot air into the intake when this thing fires up in the morning. So the intake air heater grid is located inside of this mixer housing. So we're going to test the relay. We're also going to test for power going to the relay, as well as control power coming from the ECM. So I'll show you how to do that. First thing I'm going to check right now is going to be the control power to the ECM, and I will show you where the connector is for that. Okay, so the grid heater is inside of this mixer housing, and the relay is mounted to it right there, that black box. And as you can see, I already have the connector off it. It was a bit of a pain to get it off. I had to use my pick tool to get in there and open that lock. Got to pull this lock back and then push down on this connector to pop it out, but it's on the bottom of this relay. It would make it easier removing the doghouse, but I'm trying to do it without, because I'll add an extra couple hours to the job. But if I have to replace that relay, well, I'll probably have to remove the doghouse anyway, because then I got to get to the connections at the bottom. So I'm gonna grab this harness here and test for my ground, as well as I'm going to activate the relay through the ECM to make sure we're getting good power, so to see if this relay is getting signal to operate. So it's a little tight of a fit. You could try to stick your terminals in there. Instead, I'm going to use something called a breakout harness, which makes it a million times easier. And I'll get you the number to that, so if you want to buy one. But they're pretty expensive. I'd probably just recommend removing the doghouse if you're going through that. Let me tell you, these things are expensive. They're nice to have. And oh, right there. So ZTSE 6025 is the one we want. There's our breakout harness number. Pretty much I just connect the harness into this plug, and then I could use my meter to plug into here instead of potentially damaging the pins in the actual harness. Okay, so the breakout harness is connected to the main harness here, and I'm leaving this disconnected. I'm not plugging it into the intake air heater relay. And what I'm going to do first is just measure to see if I got short to power or failed ECM by testing the voltage to the number 2 pin with a key on. Now, so you can see, I'm getting 2.5 volts. That's probably just a volt sense, because I'm going to load it up with my meter, and it drops all the way down to 0. So I'm getting 0 volts, which is good, because you don't want this to short the power, and then what that would do is it would supply constant power to the grid here, and it would melt it and cause issues. So we know that that's good. So we're going to test our ground, make sure we have a solid ground. So now I'm going to plug this in number 1, which is our ground circuit, and hit my meter up to ground. Now don't mind all this shenanigans. I basically just have these plugs from here going into my load probe, so I could just load these circuits up. Okay, so I'm testing my ground circuit. Circuit number 1, just grabbing a ground off of our chassis stud here, and as you can see, we got 8 ohms, which isn't a good ground. You want it like 0.5 ohm or less. for a good ground. So I'm going to try to find out where we're getting that extra resistance, corrosion somewhere or a bad connection, and continue from there. Okay, well, I found the problem for our ground. You can see now we got 0.6, which is good. It was this connector right here. The pins were spread inside of it, so I pulled it apart, I tightened those pins up, put it back. So now that we got our good resistance for ground, I'm going to continue testing and to see what else we find, or if that was the main problem. So here we are, going to continue testing. The reason for that is I've had multiple times where I've found problems on trucks, whether it's burnt connectors, you know, bad grounds, powers, corrosion. I fix the problem, they call the customer, tell them that I found the problem and I'm working on it, and then before you know it, when I go to test everything, it's still not working because there's multiple issues with the truck. And then they have to call the customer back, tell them it's not fixed, and then a lot of times the customer gets kind of butthurt and has a hard time believing there's multiple problems. They think we're, you know, taking them for a ride, and that's just not the way it works in the trade. And yeah, it's such a big headache dealing with customers like that and trying to explain things. So what I always do, even if I find a problem, I continue testing, making sure everything works 100% before I tell the service advisor my findings. Or if it is a big issue where I can't continue on, unless if it's repaired, tell the customer this is what I found. It's probably not the cause of the issue, or it could be, but we got to test after we repair it. So anyways, here we are. I fixed that ground. We got good ground now. We verified we got no shorts to the power circuit, which is good. And now I'm gonna just run a test to supply power from the ECM to the relay, and we're gonna see how much voltage we got. So I'm all hooked up, got that 2.5 cents voltage. I load it up and it goes away, and I'm using a program called NEDS. Then you work on internationals, you're familiar with this, so you want to go up to tests. I gotta situate this laptop better, it's kind of just hanging off the cowl there. Okay, to run this test for the intake air heater, this is a Maxxforce DT. So I gotta first run a standard test, key on, engine off, standard test. Before I could run this intake air heater test here, I gotta run a standard test on these engines, otherwise they won't allow you to run the test. So I'm gonna hit start, and with this test it should activate the intake air heater relay, so we'll be able to see if we have 12 volts on this thing. And then when I run the intake air heater test, I'll load that 12 volts up. So here we go. Let's start test. There we go. We got 12 volts. It's gonna load that up. Oh yeah, that's a strong 12 volts. Test is running. Deactivates. Okay, so we have really good control going through this relay, so we know that's all good. Test is done. I don't have to run the intake air heater test again because it gave me a long enough time to read the voltage and load it up. So now that we know we have our control side is all good to the intake air heater relay, I will test to see if we have good power going to the relay, and then I'll test to see if it's sending power. When I run the intake air heater test, I could test the output power of the relay. Okay, so this is a part where removing the doghouse would be a lot easier because there's two studs at the back of this relay. One's a constant power from the batteries, and the other one is a supply from the relay going to the grid heater. So pretty much you want to test both of them. Hook your meter up to ground, and then you're going to want to make sure one of the studs has constant voltage and a good strong voltage. I think it's the stud in the middle, but I'm not sure. But yeah, as long as one of them has a good supply voltage, then that's the one that's from the batteries, and then we'll go on the other one to test to make sure the relay is working. Okay, I got my hand there holding the probe on the power side of stud from the batteries, and as you can see we got good 12 volts, and I already loaded it up, and I'm only dropping 0.2 volts, so indicating we got good strong voltage coming from the batteries. So now I'm going to test the other stud and activate the relay to make sure we have good strong 12 volts going to the grid heater. For this test, I plugged the harness back into the relay, remove my breakout harness, and now I'm ready to activate the test and see if I'm getting voltage on the other stud. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I'm running the intake air heater test, and I do have 12 volts. Okay, so we know the relay is working good, the control side is all working good, so that leaves us with only one more test, which is testing the grid heater itself. This one's an easy test, doesn't need any fancy tooling or anything. All you have to do is the one stud that powers the grid heater coming from the relay, we hook our meter up to resistance, put the one end to the stud and the other end to ground. I just grab the ground from the good old chassis ground here, and you want to see if you have good resistance. So yeah, something along the lines of like 1-2 ohms or whatever, and if you do, then the grid heater is good. If it's open circuit, well, then you know your grid heater's melted or bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and test that right now. Get back in there. Okay, finally got a reading off this thing. We're getting 4,000 ohms. That's way too high. Now these studs are usually pretty crusty because of obviously being exposed to the elements, so I grab a pick and I kind of scrape it until I get a good clean connection, which is what I got here. And yeah, you don't want to see 4,000 ohms. You want to see like 1-2 ohms to ground, and this is indicating that our grid heater is bad. So I'm gonna call a grid heater on this thing. We'll pull it apart and get her all fixed up. So between that bad ground and this grid heater, we got our problem solved here. So I got the EGR mixer housing off. As you can see, our grid heater is definitely bad. Seen better days. This is a new one. That's the old one. So that's why the thing wouldn't start when it's a little cool outside. And I also got a new relay just in case. While we're there, might as well replace it. And that's it. So that was a good diag, and this will definitely take care of the problem. Look at this thing. It's coming out of there in pieces. Cool. Oh yeah. She's working good now.